Here we are
for the rant.
We're inside. It's not the rant, it's
whatever it
RacingRant preview for BMW Day at Rosehill tomorrow. And Gord's not a happy camper, despite the fact that he's man of the match for I don't know how many weeks in a row. But
a couple of weeks now for sure.
All these
2 or 3
distance races. And,
so he'll just be expecting.
I tell you, I was quick to do the form. I only had to do it on 2 races.
He's not really like that anymore, and he can also tip a winner in a distance race. Glenn, looks like your sort of day actually. Looks like a betting program.
It does look a deep betting program, guy, with a lot of mixture form and obviously the track. Hopefully it handles the day. We called off the last 3 at Warwick Farm the other day, which is...
Had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be, but yeah, I suppose you can't blame anybody. I want to blame somebody, but I can't.
Yeah, so someone wrote on Twitter, so how did Glenn's There'll Never Be Another Track inspection go? And 2 days later, 4 days later, they were doing a track inspection.
Oh, yeah, big thanks to that bloke. Yeah, got it wrong.
It wasn't a Group 1 day. So that's the difference.
Anyway.
It did piss down at Warwick Farm.
Look, rail goes out to the 6 metre position. The track obviously got carved right up last week. So I guess there'll be someone trying to sniff out whether the outside fence is any good. But I've never actually seen them get the outside fence since the Equitrack days at Rosehill.
No. Remember they used to come down that...
Yeah. The synthetic
track?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Race 1 is a two-year-old race over 1,400 metres. And Astoria, the unbeaten O'Shea horse, 1 from 1, is $4.40. $6.50 Murahib out of the Blue Diamond, $7.50 Villa Carlotta, who got spaced by the Slipper Canella at her last start, $11 Albumin, $11 Chief on Q, $13 Merchant Navy, $14 Fager, $14 Smooth Landing, $17 Marsupial, and $18 Reflectivity, and it's 31 along to the rest.
Gord will just say, this is immoral, it'll win, number 3. I just know you're going to say it, so just, you might as well just say it now. What's going to win, Guy?
Well, what I'm going to say is actually I'm going to be betting off your 2 guys' information tomorrow because I don't have a lot of confidence in the program. I'm going to rely on Glenn to find the wet horses for me, and I'm going to rely on Mark to find the fit horses for me, and if they match up, I'm going to bet.
But you're still tipping Astoria in the first.
Of course I am.
I fucking knew you were.
Just wanted to build it up a little bit. That was an impressive win.
It was an impressive win. It's just got you written all over it. It is 11 to 1400 and all the other things. Barrier 14, which probably looks a tick, doesn't it? But what are you saying, Mark? Do you want me to start?
James Doyle, he was supposed to get a hit out on Wednesday and he got rained off. So it's his first ride back from injury.
What did he injure?
He fell off and didn't he break his collarbone? Broke something.
Wrist, something like that.
Well, he couldn't have broken anything. He's only been gone 2 weeks. Wasn't broken.
Not 2 weeks. But anyway, he had an injury as a result of that fall.
Okay,
and
so this
will be his first ride back.
Okay, guys, I'm going to start off. I'm going to tip the horse you said got spaced. I don't really agree with that. Villa Carlotta.
That's okay to say he got spaced. I'm not denying he got a chance here.
Well, in the same comment, She Will Rain got spaced in the race and then won a slip.
But hang on. Well, the margin 2 1/4 by 4 3/4.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that the 4 3/4, the second horse got spaced and it come off that and won a slipper.
Look,
isn't that form?
It's good form. It's good form, and she's got a definite chance here.
Third run in the race finds Huey, so it goes from when it won, I thought it won with a little bit of bad Glyn. Then Shim went all right the other day, and then look, if I'm tipping 10, I have to tip number 12 for second. Tied to it, beaten 8.2 lengths out of the same race, ran 4th. I'm 10, 12, 3.
So we're looking for 1,200 metre 2-year-old form, aren't we? We're trying to weigh up what's the decent 1,200 metre 2-year-old form. You're going, well, that race, which did actually supply the Slipper Quinella, was a decent.
Well, it has to be decent form, doesn't it?
No argument. I'm less disposed towards She's on Q.
What does that mean? You like it less?
Villa Carlotta was stepping up from 1,000 on that occasion. She was going 1,000 to 12.
More upside.
Oh, okay. But what about the fact She's on Q is the new Glenn Pollitt hot wet track sire, Uncle Mo's?
Yeah, but what was the track the other day? Maybe 15?
Yeah, I suppose.
Anyway, what about the stablemate of the favourite has got the hottest 1,200 metre run in Sydney, 20th of January. Started $1.80 and beat Frolic by 2 1/4 lengths.
Marsupial?
Right, drew the wrong lane at Canberra. Gate 1, that was no good.
No, I'm definitely backing it.
Well, you've been tipping at every start though,
Anyway,
Gord.
look, it's $17, and the favourite, who is the top pick, number 3, is $4.40. Any comment about number 1, Glenn, who sort of seemed to do pretty much what Tulip did in her run in the Blue Diamond, but is that 28 days and a male this time, Dolliver?
Dollar for there for sure. Look, I can't say pen job, obviously. Lightly race 2 wins. And I want to have a look in the yard, I suppose. What are you saying about it, Gordy?
Oh, me? No
Pen
for
job?
me, obviously. Yeah.
Pen job for sure.
Marsupial, it just seemed to me that I reckon it could prefer a wetter track too.
A wetter track?
Yeah. Oh, no, like...
Oh, you mean
it's run on good its last 2 starts.
Okay, so you say it'll suit it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be suited tomorrow.
I thought you said, how do you get a wetter track?
Yeah, at those odds, I think it's got a chance. And
That's obviously good odds.
you know, I always said number 14, Whispered Secret. I'm looking for it to be long, very long odds in a higher standard race and it'll have some sort of a chance. So
It's also an acceptor for Beaumont tomorrow. It is the emergency year.
Yeah.
But one to mention, as you have done. That's race 1. Race 2, 1,200 metre race. This is the only 1,200 on the day. $4.40 is Danish Twist, $4.40 Impending, $5.50 Jungle Edge.
Seems well for $5.50, huh?
$7 Del Chilo, $9.50 Artistry, who seems to have been discounted. She's no good in the ground, is that right? 14 sought after, 18 Sabaro, 18 Cadero, 34 Wouldn't It Be Nice, the perennial. Jungle Edge owns this speed-wise. Del Chilo will find himself right on the speed, stepping up to 1,000. Cadero will be whacking away out wide, sought after not too far away, impending midfield. Interesting race.
It's interesting. There's bits and pieces here, isn't there? Guys, I was tipping number 3 on top, just coming out of the race there. Lura May, Chautauqua and Haraki last start. I thought it did a really good job around.
Names, is that what you're saying?
A little bit there. 21 days off. Oh, I thought the horse that gets the nice run of the race, so I'm going to be all over the place tomorrow, and it's absolutely flying, is Cadero. It's flying, this horse. Goes well on the wet. Really been parading great too, so it's coming off a bit of a win there at Kembla, which I know doesn't look like much, but thought he could run a place. And I thought the obvious for back in distance Danish Twist, but big deal. Jungle Edge, I had something on the other day at the $15 a place with R.W. Waterhouse. It went well, and it's a real wet tracker and does take up the running here, but it seems well in at $5.50.
Well, it's a designated
wet tracker.
Horse, isn't it? It is a designated, like you go through its runs.
Yeah.
It's had like had 20 runs on the side.
A 10 horse, what do you mean 10 to 1?
No, 10 like.
Heavy 10.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at its wins. They're in a 9. They're in a 9. That sort of thing. Raced on a 10 the other day. Raced on a 9 at Randwick, and like just takes it up.
Takes it up. What price can you make? What price are you going to make? All right, 7s, 10s, or 14s? 10s?
Who's that?
Jungle Edge.
No, 5s.
Fuck, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, where is the market? I'm struggling to find impending here. I'm looking for a run from him, and I'm thinking because he found the right lane the other day. You know, he was maximised.
What's a Group 1 race? Canterbury Stakes.
Yeah, fair enough. Gord, do you want to say something about this race?
No, I'm going to give Impending another chance here. I don't like finding O'Shea horses when they haven't really showed me something early on in their preparation, but I think, like, I had an opinion of this horse. I thought it was clearly, like, this is a far weaker field than it's run against. If it's going to do something, I like to freshen up back 100 metres. I think it's got a chance. And also, when stables are on fire, horses run well, and that's number 6 sought after. I know that the trial wasn't as flashy as you'd like to see, but it's going to be fit enough because it's had the 8:45 trial and the 1200 metre trial, and as I say, the stable's on fire and the horse has some sort of ability. So I think
stable is really going well. 4 winners yesterday at Kembla, guys, and then winners at Warwick Farm the day before. Old Gaybot is flying.
I think Danish Twist fits right in this race. I think she'd be better off back at 1200.
I agree.
She's running probably the highest rating race of the carnival so far. Well, the hottest time race of the carnival so far. She gets H. Bowman. She drew gate 1. That was the wrong lane there the other day. What are we saying about Artistry? Is she just, you know, she's a last start winning mare on the course. Now I know it was a bit of a it was a bit of a cheat because it was a field of Dothraki and Ball of Muscle who had just penned for life.
I think the market's saying it was a bit of a cheat too, and that's why you're going to get 10 to 1 about this horse tomorrow. I think 10 to 1 you can win on it, but fits him. What'd you mark at 7s?
Yeah.
Anyone wants Mark Lamborg's price is cheaper. Just
come on,
ring me.
Del Ciolo's hard in the market here, Glenn. What do you make of that?
Oh, 1,000 to 1,200, guys. What are your thoughts?
No good.
I don't think it was any good. For it. Good horse, but
Yeah, it seems surprisingly well found.
if it was 1,100 to 1,200, I might be a bit more convinced. But 1,000 to 1,200, 1,200 is another world. And there it is.
Right, race 3, the Neville Selwood, 2,000 metres.
Send Gord 33.
$2.70 astronomous.
Will it be $2.70 or is that wrong?
$5.50 floodlight.
What there's the floodlight?
$6.50 Sorceress.
Where's it gone?
$9 ambience. $9 classic uniform. 12 assign. 15 single gaze. That'll do you. Classic uniform takes it up. Gets his preferred position, which is leading. Didn't lead at Canberra, did he, Gord? He had to do a bit of work to get up outside the lead at Canberra. Single gaze will posse up here. Lord Dier follows classic uniform across to race OSL, and Ambience takes the box seat. So you're an astronomer's man, Glenn?
I am. I thought I jumped off the page, guys.
I reckon $2.70 is a fantastic price.
Looks an even chance to me.
Yes. I was like, what's it up against here?
Nothing. It's third up.
And it's on fire.
On fire.
Yeah, very hard to beat.
Ticks every box.
I mean, the only query is the barrier 1. Is that going to be right? But shit, I'm willing to take $2.70 to find
6
out.
goes in the wet for 5 wins.
Yeah.
The horse wins.
Yeah.
He just wins all the time. I mean, I can't find the second pick. What are your second pick?
Single gaze.
Kathy O'Hara on single gaze. There she is.
She won this fillies race on this course and distance last year.
Yeah, 315 days off and hasn't shown us anything this preparation.
She's run two pretty hard races. One of my theories is that
Just get the distance?
Wet to wet isn't as good as dry to wet.
Does it get the distance?
Who? Single gaze?
No. Kathy O'Hara.
Maybe not. Maybe not. And classic uniform will run some sort of race, but Ambience has shown some form. What's the floodlight business? That's
Made up a bit.
well, it was a slowly run race there. It's somewhat race, and it's poked home. Slow pace is a real wetty that is poked home and gets gunned tomorrow. He only goes in ground. Anyway, one of my theories is that wet to wet isn't as good as you think, because wet to wet is half the field into half the field, whereas dry to wet is whole field, like all horses effective.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas wet, as soon as you're wet, you got half the field ineffective.
Sometimes 2/3.
Yeah, so like the form is just a little bit dodgier than you think.
That is a brilliant, brilliant pearl, and thanks so much for talking me out of astronomers.
Well, God will be happy because
No
if
chance.
it doesn't carry you.
Can you talk the rest of the market out of it too? Seriously.
Well, that's the
Moral.
beauty, you know.
Well, that really makes a lot of sense, Mark. And so now my perfectly clarity that I had this was a fucking moral now is completely clouded.
Oh,
And
anyway,
I'll be laying it tomorrow.
well, it doesn't affect me at all.
You can double your bet.
Hey, we'll bet with each other. Get rid of the comms.
Another even billion.
There you go. Doncaster Prelude, which I remember, the Doncaster Prelude used to be a really fat race. Now it's just a little...
Trimmed up.
Well, it is trimmed up, isn't it? $3.80 Spectroscope. $5 Echo Effect, who hasn't been seen for 5 weeks. $6.50 New Tipperary. $8 Kenjawood. $8.50 Rudy. There's a few shippers here. $11 Marinostro. $14 Lanciato. And $20 No Doubt. Long odds the top 2. Lebaz is poking through there, but Echo Effect should take it up. And
Off you go, dog. We can't have dogs on the show.
No Doubt or Pornishead will have to do a bit of chasing.
Bondi vet or something.
Huh?
A Bondi vet on. Yeah, okay, if I did a little pat,
Hey, you know the thing is, you'd get a pat if you were that fox terrier that ran around at Wentworth Park that time.
you like that story.
Oh, that was awesome.
The Terriers. Everyone loved the Terrier story as well. All right, so obviously we've got the very impressive perhaps didn't beat much. Was Buick, now Brown. Brown seems to be a player tomorrow that you'd rather not.
Well, I mean, he's getting those lighter weight rides, isn't he? That's his go.
Yeah, this is his go. He's a good tradesman, Brown, but you just don't want to back him. He gets the job done. You see him with Tervis. He gets
Look,
the
I
job
know
done.
that was impressive first up, but
He
it
pots
seems
around.
pretty well found,
Is
doesn't it?
The Spectrastrom?
Yeah.
Yeah, my word. He's at that age where you actually don't really have that massive desire.
Yeah, but he's just going to bob up here. He's bobbing up. I mean,
Oh,
I agree with you. He's not a major player. He's not a major play.
But he'll,
Well,
wax
back or
around.
lay this favourite at, say, let's say 3 to 1.
I can't back it.
All right, where are you going?
Guys, I was going to New Tipperary. Third up tomorrow. Good horse, goes in the wet. Like gun riding it.
Big run the other day.
Big run the other day.
It should be favourite.
Yes, well, I thought
And
so.
what is it, 650 at the moment, something like that?
I marked it favourite. I marked it 7 to 2. 6. I still thought Echo Vic could be cheeky in front here. I was worried about the 5 weeks off, but I thought it had a thing. And the horse in the race that is completely over is number 9, $21, no doubt. That does seem wrong. I think.
But surely Lanciato was a much better run than him when they raced together on the Wednesday. Like it was so hard to make up ground on that day. And Lanciato was the only one who come from back of the field.
Possibly, but I thought, no doubt, he was second up that day. Tomorrow he's fourth up. I think he's at his peak, and
Yeah,
he's a bit of a money muncher too.
Look,
Lanciato's a money muncher.
There's a couple of ways to look at that. It's somewhat race, and no doubt is maybe to give up for the race. Anyway, there's a few old stages up the top there. Good old Marinostro tries this race first up. Rudy hasn't won since, I don't think he's won since he won that Villiers.
No.
2.5 years ago. Kenja Wood is now Darren Weirman, and obviously been poking along, prepared for this race. Pornichet light of past days. I'm with Spectroscope. Gord, you're with New Tipperary. Anything else?
Yeah,
to say?
I'm going to be backing New Tipperary early. I'm going to wait for special. Oh Jesus!
Can't
Say
say
it
his
for me,
name.
Hard
Mark.
to say.
Spectroscope.
Easy to win.
Yeah,
Spectroscope.
I'm going to wait for it to get to a better price and maybe back it. And if
You go better at saying ginger nuts.
I love saying ginger nuts.
I know.
But you know what's going to
Apparently
be?
it's gonna-
There's going to be a Quinella, ginger nuts and rising red at some races carnival. Eh?
Well, there's already been a Quinella, Ginger Nuts and Rising Red in the New Zealand
Derby,
Derby.
yeah.
And apparently they're going to rename Ginger Nuts the Tangerine Biscuit.
What's that?
With those
Bullshit.
bright orange colours.
Oh.
And it's a ginger nut. Oh, anyway. They're not. That was just
Oh.
a suggestion.
We should call our horse the Tangerine Biscuit. It's a great name.
Look, I thought down the bottom here, 7, 8, 6, 10, and I agree with you, 9 would be next best.
Righto, let's get this 5th race knocked on the head because it's pretty disappointing.
This is a key race, isn't it? What is this race? What have we got to work with here?
It's just
$3.40, the New Zealand Derby minor place getter, John Snow. $3.90 prized icon. It must have finished closer than I realised.
Wish this horse was called Nathan Snow. How funny would that be? It was John Snow.
John Snow's just a touch more famous than
Yeah,
Nathan Snow.
yeah.
Oh, who's John Snow?
He's the lead character in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I don't watch shit TV.
That's not your TV.
What
It's quality. You talk about reality TV all the time.
What show do I talk about?
Oh,
Name
what
one.
is it?
Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's all. That's all. That's the only one I talk about.
Dance Mums.
I never watched that.
Anyway, where do we get to? $8 Akatua, $10 Honey Wine, $12 Wine Bush, 16 Rock and Swing, 17 Righteous Mate, $20 Hollywood
Go away,
Road.
dog.
Captain Duffy, I have just leading this tomorrow. He'll be in his comfort zone tomorrow after getting bashed up first up and then sitting in the slow lane in the Randwick Guineas. Could be worth a ticket. Then we've got Noble Truth poking up along the inside, Honey Wine not too far away. John Snow is back in distance, so probably goes back. Prized Icon will occupy a handy-ish position.
Seems to be occupying a lot of the market, prized icon to me.
Look, I've been particularly hard on him, marked him 5 to 1.
I thought you would have been 7s.
But I would think,
Go away, dingo.
I would think the punters would take 7s. And look,
What is he at the moment? $3.
He's 3 to 1. He's 3
$4. Oh.
It looks just very hard to make bits and pieces up here, but you have to if you're going to have to make them up. I thought 7 to 2 the favourite, number 2. His New Zealand form, I think you made a comment on Wednesday, boys. It's like a bit average.
Yeah.
He's from a hot yard, the Baker, but
And just like weird,
Is it 10?
weird prep. Oh, is that what you're going to say?
10 starts,
plus
1
his
win.
preparation.
Hasn't won for like last 7 starts. Guys, I was tipping Honeywine on top. It's had the 2 runs back. Blinker's back on tomorrow. It's had the trial since. Finds James Doyle. 3rd up tomorrow. Won a Kimball that day on a wet track. I thought it sort of finds itself in a nice spot to beat Righteous Mate, who I noticed the other day, down in class, obviously, but poking up on the inside on the worst part of the track, and I thought it did a particularly good job as 21. And the horse that I thought that I could nearly mark favourites, $21, and that is Hollywood Mo, coming out of the proper lead-up last week on this track, and the Rosehill Guineas backing up within a week. Only horse to come from well back in the field, even though it got beaten 9 lengths, and I thought it did a terrific job. I thought it had a great chance.
Didn't Hollywood Mo obviously fits in this race, but Garnet Harper's Choice, he tried to do the Lasketti Spirit play, which was I'm on the horse with the most residual fitness in this race, so I'm really going to put these
Boys to the sword?
Well, yeah, and the pretty horses to the sword as well. You know, they've only had 14 and 16. They go up to 2,000.
I think it's just a play gun. We're going to see more and more over Gun over the years. That, you know, he's sort of managed a little bit by his manager, but he's also advised by Nathan. And you know, I think they're going to try and take up the running. A lot of races are won in front in Sydney.
I reckon they might overdo it because of the initial success. But anyway.
Well, but by the same token, that horse you're talking about, Harper's Choice, it was $51 last week. Did you want to be
Why
on?
not try something? Yeah.
It fucking was home on the bench.
He maximised his result.
Yeah.
Terrific result. I had 400 a place at $10 with Rob Waterhouse.
Rob Waterhouse got your money. Again, any comment on Akatur here, who's just had the Hobart Hill around the Guineas?
And then 3 weeks
back
off.
to the inside the other day, but you know what?
Well, I keep betting it because you keep tipping it.
What am I actually tipping? I'm actually tipping Captain Duffy
You're tipping 5,
and
sure.
Garvin.
Why not? Why not it? Because it's a horse that ran away in a 2,000 metre race. They then charged through the line, lightly raced. Got a lot to like about it. What price is it? $31?
41.
Nothing wrong with it. What do you think of my Hollywood Mo tip?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
I thought it'd start half that.
All I did was saw the percentage that 1 and 2 were taking up, and I went looking for something else.
I think that's what we all did.
And I didn't find anything.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to
I'm
find.
not betting. Yeah.
It's hard to find. It's a very odd little race that you know, full of failures.
But it's juicy.
and run on it. Yeah.
And if you back the winner, you'll win on the race.
Okay, so that's the end of part 1.
That's the end of part 1. I know.
Nostradamus over there.
Glenn philosophising. We might take a break and see if we can clear his
Fucking
head.
2-hour break. Bye.